everyone, Becky here, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. Today we're just going to be doing a quick little video on a walking foot. This is also known as an even feed foot. So I will show you how to install a walking foot, and we're just going to talk about a little bit about what it's for and why you would want to use it. So the first thing I want to say is do not be intimidated. I bought this and I kept it in a box for months because I was scared to put it on my machine. It just is so big and bulky and intimidating, especially compared to, you know, just like your normal little feet that you pop on and you have to unscrew things. But it's really actually very simple to make the switch to a walking foot. So what a walking foot does is, you can see here, these are a second set of feed dogs. You can see how they're rigid, and then when this moves up and down, they go up and down. So what that does is you have feed dogs built into your machine, and those are like the little teeth under your presser foot that go up and grab your fabric. So now with the walking foot, you have two sets of feed dogs. So they clamp, push your fabric, come back, clamp, push your fabric. Whereas with the other ones, you were clamping and it was pushing up against your presser foot. So like, especially if you sew knits, that's a big one. You would notice that your fabric really stretched out after you sewed it, and the walking foot helps push it through instead of having it pull through, so it's not stretching as much. You may still have a little bit of that, but it's going to change it drastically. That's one of the first tips that people will receive when they say, what's wrong with my fabric? Why is it stretched out? How can I sew a knit fabric better on my sewing machine? And so that is why. So the other thing that is great for is quilting or sewing really thick materials, or multiple layers. So like quilting, when you have three, it's going to grip that top fabric and the bottom fabric and slide it through at the same time. There are also some machines that do have this built in. Again, that is the very high-end machines and not very common, but you may have that. You may have gotten a machine that has that, and then you don't have to switch it out. Basically, that is what your walking foot's for. I sew with my walking foot on my machine almost exclusively unless I'm doing a zipper or something. The biggest downside to it is just the width, so it's really hard, especially if you need like a narrow or seam allowance. It's hard to see in there. And this is just a Singer one. They are, for the most part, relatively generalized. I do know that the name brand ones like Singer and Brother are built a little bit better. They're built to last. One thing with the Singer that I don't like is, if you are doing quilting, a lot of them have a spot for a quilting guide on it, which is this little thing. So if you're doing a lot of quilting, I would not recommend the Singer, and make sure you look into that. It looks like it would work, but it doesn't. This goes into the back of it, and then it kind of helps you keep your lines even from as you move along your rows. So if you do a lot of quilting and you need a quilting guide, make sure that your presser foot, your walking foot, is going to work with your quilting guide. But now I am just going to show you how to install this and just how it will look on your machine. Right, just for reference, I have a Brother machine, but for the most part this should be the same for pretty much everything. And I did turn my light on just so that you guys can see easier. It is always recommended to turn your machine off when you're switching out your presser feet. I'm not always the best at that, but I just thought I would put that out there that it is recommended. So I'm going to turn, this is my presser foot I have on now, and as I mentioned, to take it off, I just have a button that snaps on and off. And then when I do this, I like to leave one of my bigger presser feet on it, because you do not want to lose this part of your sewing machine. So I'm going to turn you sideways here, and you can see this is my presser foot, and you can see here this little gap. That's where I can attach the quilting guide that I was showing you into my regular presser foot. But here I have a screw, and there is another screw up here that hooks to your needle, so make sure that you're not unscrewing your needle. But this one, you're just going to get a screwdriver, and if you haven't ever done this, it may be really hard. You may have to twist really hard, but once you get it, it should twist pretty easily. You can see my presser foot just drops down. So I'm just gonna unscrew it a little bit. I don't ever unscrew it all the way because I don't want to lose the screw. So I just unscrew it most of the way, pull my presser foot up, and pop this off. So when I take my presser foot off here, this is the little piece that attaches on there. But like I said, I always keep my presser foot on it so that I don't lose it. Main parts right now are this little lever and this little U right here. You can kind of see how it has the hook in it, kind of hooks around there. So this spot here is where your screw is going to go. So the threads of the screw, like the skinny part, is going to go right through this hole, and then the head of the screw is going to stick out on this part. And then this little bar is going to sit on top of your needle screw bar. I'm not sure what the correct term is for that there, but that's what's going to help make your foot move. So I am going to push this lever up and get it on top of here. There's a little lip you can see there on there, and then I will also slide this on kind of simultaneously, the hook, and then I just kind of hold it. You can see how loose it is now, and then I'm just going to tighten my screw, and it's very hard to get this screw back on and in that hole, which is why I don't like to take it off. And you want to just tighten it as tight as you can, and then you are done. So now when I'm going to crank my hand wheel, and you can see the needle going down. Actually, let me put my presser foot down. Okay, so you can see my needle going down, and the bar follows the needle, and the feet are moving on the walking foot. So it goes down, and you can't see it, but right now the feed dogs on the machine are down. And so then I'm going to keep cranking it, and as the needle goes up, these feed dogs come down, and the feed dogs on my machine come up, and then they're going to move backwards slightly, and then you just keep going. And that is how to install and use your walking foot. I will say a couple things if you do get the Singer. I'm not 100% sure if they all do this, but this one, your foot does kind of go tilt up and down. So if you're having a hard time getting your thing in, you can just push it up a little bit, and that's fine. The other thing that I really dislike about this one is you can see right here how there is this slit, and I actually had this taped. I put a piece of tape underneath it to cover that hole and loop it around, because this little hole, your seams, especially if you're doing smaller seam allowance, it likes to curve up in there and get stuck, and which is really annoying, and you kind of have to pull it out, and it's really hard to do. So I don't like that. I did put some tape on it, and I know one common complaint of this, and I did have the issue, is that as you're sewing, the bar would get stuck up here and it wouldn't come down with it. And I have seen a lot of people, I tried it as well to wrap rubber bands around it, and it wasn't working. What I did is I actually just put a little bit of oil inside of it, and it has worked like a charm ever since. I have not had that issue, and that was probably a year or so ago that I had the issue with the bar getting stuck. And that might be a common thing with walking feet. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've only ever used the Singer one, but that's just something to note if your bar is getting stuck. And that covers pretty much everything for your walking foot. I will put a couple links down in the description to different walking feet, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. You can also find me on Instagram. It's @Sewbex. It's SEWBEXX, and you can reach out to me there with any questions on a walking foot or any other sewing questions you may have. I would be happy to help. But just know that a walking foot is not scary. It's very easy to use. It is a great tool to have. So if you do not have one, go get one and pop it on your machine and get sewing. Thanks for watching. Bye.